We'll start off with introductions. My name is Alan Davenport. I'm the president of Jersey County Rural Water.
Cindy Campbell, Alderman for the City of Carlinville and representative to the board for City of Carlinville.
Sue Campbell, village trustee for the village of Dorchester and appointed representative to the water board.
Do we need any further introductions? Okay, with that, we'll go to the approval of the minutes from the September 25th meeting. Have you read them?
I have read them. I make a motion that we accept them as presented.
I'll second that.
It's been regularly moved and seconded to accept the meeting minutes. Have read. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. As we did in the previous minutes, we voted on the organizational structure of not-for-profit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. With that, we'll go to voting on selection of an attorney. David Foreman, have you read his credentials?
I have read his credentials. I have checked with 3 of his references as well. They were all glowing. And I feel very comfortable with engaging Mr. Foreman as our legal counsel for our water committee. I make a motion that we engage him as our attorney for this water cooperative.
I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign, motion carried. The next business will be to authorize the attorney to file articles of organization. Do I have a motion to do that? We'll file it as the alluvial.
Yes.
We'll use this address
As the
mailing address.
Yes, I make that motion that he file the papers, and this will be the main office of the Alluvial Water Cooperative, Illinois Alluvial Water Cooperative. Yes, I make that motion.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right. Say water cooperative.
It's company. Water
Company.
Water company.
Illinois
Illinois
Alluvial.
Alluvial Regional Water Company, because that's not what you just said.
Then I will amend my motion that to file the papers for the Illinois Alluvial Regional Water Company.
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
And I will second that motion, that amended motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We'll have election of officers now. Do you have a slate you would propose?
I do have a slate we would propose for president would be Alan Davenport. Vice president would be Cindy Campbell. Combined secretary treasurer would be Sue Campbell. I make that motion.
I'll second that.
It's been regularly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The bylaws for the company, have you read them?
I have read them. Yes, I
Yes.
have.
Are there any alterations or corrections?
No, I've reviewed them. I find no alterations or corrections of the bylaws. I make a motion that we accept the bylaws as presented.
I will second that.
It's been regularly moved and seconded to approve the bylaws as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I think the only thing we have to do now is to draw lots for representative terms.
Okay. Short straw, long straw?
I've never had to do that, so I'm not sure how they
Well,
about that.
we have to go 1, 2, and 3.
We do.
Then after that would be 3-year terms from there on,
That is
according to the
correct.
bylaws. I'm willing to do it for a year.
I'm willing to do it for 2 or 3.
I don't know. Either, I'm fine with either one. So, I mean, I don't know how we normally we just say, or
Yeah.
is there a
whatever.
method?
I'll take 1,
I'll take 3.
All right, I'll
and you
do
take
2.
2. 1, 2, 3. So we have that done. I think next one on the agenda would be to decide a depository for the organizational funds.
Yes, that depository would be United Community Bank in Gillespie, Illinois.
I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And we designated this mailing address
Yes.
for the alluvial. I believe that's about it. Are there any other things to come before the board this evening?
I have nothing.
I have nothing else.
I'll defer to our attorney. Is there anything else?
No, not at this time.
I make a motion for adjournment.
I second that.
We asked
So
a
you
question.
think,
We have
the last meeting, you
questions.
said you'd allow some type of discussion.
After adjournment.
No, why after adjournment?
What type of discussion?
You
Well,
have just
I
general
mean,
questions, I mean, you haven't even been
I've
commenting
got
on
something
that.
that I would like to a little bit that I would like to repeat from the last meeting. The last meeting, it was Fosterburg and Carlinville, and now I see Dorchester, but no Fosterburg. So, you know, what happened to Fosterburg and what happened to Dorchester? And
They're not present, Fosterburg's not present tonight.
are they still a member?
I do not know. I do not have their status.
Because they held a public meeting.
I do not have their status. You'll have to go to Fosterburg and ask them that question,
I
okay?
held a public meeting and said they withdrew and they withdrew the money. And the other thing is, we've asked Carlinville several times for, whatever statutory authority they have to do this.
You
Now
know,
the same thing's gonna happen
stop
to
everything.
Dorchester.
Stop everything right
They
now.
don't have that.
Stop
statutory
everything
authority.
right
Let's
now.
just
Davenport,
defer to
the,
our attorney.
So, it's not my practice, generally speaking, to render legal advice in a non-confidential setting. But given the circumstances, but the underlying authority for this organization is Article 7, Section 2 of the Illinois Constitution. You might want to take a look at it.
And what's that deal with?
And that is the answer to your question. And then there is case law pursuant to that section authorizing these types of agreements.
Is that the one talking about intergovernmental agreements? Because I don't have the Constitution sitting right there in front of me.
There is a portion of it which does deal with intergovernmental agreements. There are various parts of it. It's fairly self-explanatory.
Well, you know, if that was true, you would think the Carlinville attorney, sitting in a meeting at least 2 months now,
I can't speak to what the
Would,
Carlinville attorney does or does not do.
would provide the citizens of Carlinville the statutory authority they have to do this. I don't believe they do it, I don't believe Dorchester does.
That's your opinion, you're entitled to it. It's worth what we
That's
pay
right,
for.
and I would just, you know, unless somebody could put something in writing from Carlinville and from Dorchester, I would be careful about spending their money, because if we should prove that they don't have authority, that money's coming back. Thanks for letting me talk.
Mr. Davenport, can I ask Susie a question? Has Dorchester voted to move forward,
They have.
and they're going to pull out of Gillespie's water system?
We have voted, and they authorized me, and we've become a member of this, and we will move forward with this cooperative and pull out of Gillespie.
And have they designated a certain amount of money towards the funds
have.
for this? Can you disclose that?
I don't think I will at this time.
Okay.
Well, we'll just FOIA Dorchester and find out what they get.
You can, that's fine.
That's right, or you can tell us right now.
We have committed up to $10,000.
Cindy, you researched the attorney and you've hired him. What fee schedule have you agreed to with him?
$175 an hour. I consulted with 2 local attorneys to see if that was within the realm of thing, and their exact words were, "You better grab him." That most of the attorneys today are getting 2 1/4, 2 1/2 an hour, and this is for non-governmental stuff. And that his field of expertise is very narrow. that there are very few attorneys that do this type of work, and that they told me he was good.
I agree with
also
you.
checked that against what we pay other attorneys at the city of Carlinville, and it was comparable, so.
Just so you know, I have a reduced rate for the not-for-profits than I did my normal rate.
I also endorse that. I also checked with attorney's fees and know that what we pay at the hospital for attorney's fees, and it is, he's very reasonable and he's right.
Right. We didn't want to sign anything that was,
I know originally, Fosterburg had set aside $50,000 to fund here, so the meeting I attended, because they pulled out, is what they said, they were pulling out this group, and the 50,000 was now taken out to help. So as far as Carlinville goes, is someone else putting in 50,000, or what's everybody putting in now? What have they put in? Dorchester joined, what have they put in?
We're committed to $10,000.
Okay, so,
Carlinville has committed no more money than they already committed,
what is that?
$30,000. That's what they've already committed. There's been no change in the amount of money that Carlinville has committed.
and you also have to understand that if this project goes through, that all of this commitment money will go back to those organizations. It will be part of the loan or whatever, financing that we will occur, whether it's grants, loans, or whatever. But that money will go back to those entities. The only way that this money is, so to speak, not returned is if the project falls through. And I, for the life of me, I cannot understand why there's so much opposition to a project that helps humankind to achieve, we all need clean water. We need clean water. And at some point in time, you have to take a risk. There's always a risk. You buy a used car, it's a risk. You buy a new car, it's a risk. You buy anything, it's a risk. But, we're trying, I think that what upsets me more than anything is that we are really, really trying to do something good here. There's no hidden agendas. There's nothing other than we want to supply potable water to lots of people at a reasonable rate that they will have a say in how it's operated, not for profit. There'll be no stockholders per se. It just blows me away. I lose faith in mankind when I see the opposition, everything just being questioned,
Well, I can explain what some of the
I
opposition
understand
is.
your point, you have a right to have that
The
point.
opposition is, at least with Carlinville, in my experience with dealing with them and their past history, they haven't been forthcoming to the citizens. They've played this game that, we're looking at several options, and then we come here at the last meeting and you said, we've known this for 2 years, this is what we're gonna do. Well, that's not what citizens Carlinville's known.
There was a grant for Carlinville to explore this. We, as Jersey County Rural Water, we were gonna be out of debt in about 5 years. And our board looked at building our own water plant to supply us. But when a regional concept come up and we visited Gateway and watched how it operated and how good it was, I'm sitting there going, why not jump on board and help all mankind and not just us? Now, I don't believe for 1 minute that Carlinville's got anything other than that in their mind. I don't believe any one of these board members do. If I did, I would not stand here,
Alan, I would agree with what you said. I don't think Cindy or
They have
Sue
nothing.
None of you do. You're all trying to do what's best for your community. I actually think probably this regional concept is very good for you. I really do, for your area. I just think Carlinville has another option, and we were supposed to explore it and we didn't. And it's a very viable, in my opinion, a very viable, good option for us. So don't take it the wrong
Okay.
way
Can
that
I
we're.
speak though?
Well, I would tell you.
Don't take it the
No,
wrong
no,
way.
I'm
that
not,
we're-
but I would tell you
I just
one
want to
thing.
finish what I'm
If
saying.
you're looking at surface water,
Right.
I would tell you that you really need to rethink that whole proposition, and
Right.
here's why. If you look at all of the chemicals that are coming in off of the farm fields and everything else, that's your water.
Well, that's your
Okay.
opinion, but you can also look in aquifers that
Can I
way
make a
too.
point
I
about
just
that,
think there
though?
should be experts on
I'll
both
make a
sides
point
and not
about
just the
that, whether I'm allowed or
engineers
not.
that stand to make
This
the
isn't
money off.
the city of Carlinville conversation though. This meeting is for what the city of Carlinville's aldermen have already voted to do, which is move forward with this project. So all of the conversation about other sources or whatever, we should have that conversation in Carlinville at the city council meeting. We shouldn't be having it here.
Cindy, I wouldn't have brought it up, but he is saying he's
Okay,
upset
well,
with
that's
us.
all I'm saying.
Well, I
is
appreciate
We should
that.
have that conversation there. That has
And-
nothing to do with what we're doing here.
That's fine, I think it could have
Your
occurred
attorney
already.
brushes everybody off that asks the
I'm
question.
not the
All right,
attorney.
Oh, we'll
stop.
find and stop.
I am not
Okay,
the
sorry.
attorney.
Yeah,
My
but
point
Cindy,
is, that's
you're
what
right.
we're doing here tonight.
Cindy, you're right.
If you have issues
Let's do it in
with-
Carlinville, okay, not
Let's
here.
do it there.
Let's do it in Carlinville.
Let's
not
do
here.
it
But I just was answering you, I didn't
I
bring it up,
appreciate that.
I just asked your question, because
appreciate
you're
that. Okay.
saying that,
But you gotta understand that, this is gonna be a process,
right.
and the process is gonna take time, and there is some risk involved. And I might, how do you say, I might have my head mounted on a wall someplace so everybody can throw darts at it,
Right.
okay, later on in life.
Well, I think
And
everybody's.
I don't wanna be a hero. I was a hero in Vietnam, I ain't a hero here, okay?
Right,
I don't wanna be a hero anymore. I just wanna help mankind.
right, and I think it's a good project for your area.
Thank you, Alan.
Well, may I say, to your point is, and I think there's some confusion here, municipal entities and the decisions you make and the meetings you have are open to the public, right? Under the Open Meetings Act. This new entity that you're forming is not subject to the Open Meetings Act. So the business of each of you is going to be conducted in your own respective board meetings, which are of record, notice, so forth and so on. But those decisions are then made by each of your respective members, and then this entity is not a public entity. All right, so we gotta there's gonna be some overlap, but your point is well taken, that those issues that are discussed on your individual level take place in those board meetings.
And you just identified the major problem. They're not subject to Open Meetings Act, which means they're not gonna be subject to prevailing wages. They're not gonna be subject
Well,
to
that's not true.
bidding out.
Prevailing
contracts.
wage is part
And-
of the
and
grant
not-
assurances that when you enter into and you get federal financial
Yeah.
assistance.
In other words, when we get federal money, we have, that is all
That's all part of
prevailing wage.
anti-discrimination.
We have to
All your
account
grant
for every
agreements come
penny of
with all
that.
that.
We've done this before.
It's all baked in.
It's all prevailing wage, we have to have wage, no, trust me, that's not the deal. There's,
Point is, when it's a public body, the public can come to a meeting and have their say.
and you can go to their meetings, and you can see what decision is gonna be brought to this
When it's
meeting.
not a public body, then they can't come here and have a say. Sure, you're allowing it right now.
What I'm trying to tell you is that you can go to their meetings, you can see what their decisions are gonna be coming to this meeting. When this meeting, they'll bring their decisions to this meeting.
It seems that the only issues that you all have are with the city of Carlinville and their decisions to not pursue other options, and those have no pertinence here. That's not what we're doing here.
My
This isn't a
issue-
subcommittee of the city of Carlinville.
My issue is you two don't have the authority to sit up there according to statute.
We
I'll
don't
prove it.
agree with you on that, and
That's
so,
fine.
Then you need to take that, you have to take that someplace else. Okay, is there anything else to come before the board this evening?
No,
Can I have a motion for adjournment?
I have a motion for adjournment.
I second.
It's been regularly moved to second, meeting, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.